What's going on, guys? It's Groove back again with another video from Parallel. So in this video, in this chapter, we're going to be going over the fiat social layer and what that means. The fiat social layer is what we live in right now. This is the world we live in with these dollars. We live in fiat land right now. And so what is fiat? It is just a decree. It's just, hey, we are the state and we're telling you you have to use this money because we're telling you you have to use it. You don't have a choice. That's all it is. The money we have, it's not backed by anything. It's not real. It's just this paper that we have to work for and create value for that somebody else can control and print up and use and send whenever they want to, wherever they want to. And the whole point of this system is so that the state can maintain control. If they are in control of the money that me and you have to work for, they're in control of us. And we don't have a choice and we have to do what they say. It kind of sucks because you really realize like we're kind of slaves in a sense. Like we're all just slaves. Like we have to go work for this money that a group of people can print up. And then on top of that, so they get it for free or they get it for cheap, the people that are closest to the money printers, we have to go out there and work for it and slave away for it. And then on top of that, it's taxed. And then after we pay taxes, we have to pay all different types of taxes. Like, okay, my money's already taxed, but now I have to go pay taxes when I go buy a house. I have to go pay property taxes. I have to go pay taxes when I go to the store, when I want to go buy a car. Let's just say I want to try to make more money, so I'm going to put my money into the stock market. Again, this money's already been taxed, but then after I make money in the stock market, I got to pay capital gains tax. Or if you're going to die, there's a death tax or there's an inheritance tax. There's all just, you realize all of this money that, again, we get when somebody else gets it for free. Again, we have to, go out and create value to get this money, and then it's just taxed at every step of the way. Then you're like, wait a minute, am I a slave? Am I just getting these fake dollars? Am I a slave to the system? And it's like, yes, that's the whole point, is just to keep you under control. So you're constantly just working, not thinking about it, and you're just living paycheck to paycheck. And if you try to escape, if you try to claw your way out of this, they'll just tax you to death at every step of the way. And on top of kind of making the citizens a slave in a way to this fake money, it incentivizes war. If you've ever read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island, you know, or it is a history on the Federal Reserve and how it was created and how it came about. As soon as that was established, a group of men now controlled the money. We now control the money that everybody else works for. What happened after that? World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnamese War, the Vietnam War. You had Desert Storm in '91, and then now from 2001 until now, it's just been the war on terror. And it's good for business when you can have endless wars. You can just print up as much money as you want to, and so many people are making money off of the death and destruction of people and places. And it's so wild that we have to live in this world. And of course, you have these talking heads on TV. Well, these people are bad, and this dictator is bad. But it's like all of these wars are kind of spun up to just make more money and make a whole or a small group of people very rich. This money that we work and live for, it's not even backed by anything anymore. And so it's so easy to just print up and move and do with it what you want. As I read this, it kind of made me think of two things. There was a poll done and they asked the American people, hey, do you think that black people should get reparations? Now, of course, if I'm a white person, I'm gonna say no. Like, no, if I can't get money, why should they get money? And again, same thing for if you're Asian or if you're a Latino person. Why would one group of people get money? Why would I say yes to that? If I'm not getting money, of course I'm not gonna say yes to that. But did the government send out a survey of if they should send money overseas or if they should send money funding illegal immigrants into the country? They don't send out a survey for that asking you if they should pay for that. They just do it. And again, this is the world we live in. It's so crazy when you sit back and think about these things. It's just wild to think about. And then lately they've been talking about having this Bitcoin strategic reserve, and that some people are starting to say we should sell the gold. And there are a bunch of people online that are up in arms right now. They better not sell our gold to buy Bitcoin. And it's like, this fiat world that we live in, it's not backed by the gold. And so when you think about this, the gold, if we do have any in the vaults, whatever we have left, because nobody knows how much gold is out there, it's just a shiny rock. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting in a vault. It's not backing anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a rock. Bitcoin beats gold in every metric. The only one that it fails in is the life, because Bitcoin's only been around for 15 years, or I guess it's the longevity, because Bitcoin's only been around for 15 years compared to gold, which has been around over 6,000 years. But other than that, it checks off every box better than gold, and we don't use it for anything. So why not get rid of it? Get rid of this old technology and get this new technology. You know, people are just up in arms like, they better not do that. The US government better not sell our gold. And it doesn't do anything already. The world we live in is not backed by gold. It's just a shiny rock sitting in vaults. It doesn't do anything. You know, but then people will just sit there and say, oh, well, that's God's money. Bitcoin beats it. It is better. It is the new gold. It is better than gold. Like, we don't need that anymore. And it already failed us. And so once we went to this fiat world and now we have something better, it's time to move on. It's time for us to adapt to this new digital gold. Now, to reel it back in from that rant that I just went on about the gold, with this fiat social layer, he talks about how all of these companies that originally get started to help society, they always decay over time. They turn from like noble companies to how can we maximize our profits? And you see this all over the place, whether it be how many times has somebody said, man, this bag of chips is filled with half air. There's no chips in here anymore. Or when it comes to real estate, the houses they're built so much worse than they used to be built, and they cost twice as much because they're just trying to throw them together really quick. This fiat world, this system, this social layer that we live in, it makes everything worse. Everything just gets worse, and it degrades over time. And it just sucks because we have to keep paying more for less stuff, or we have to keep paying more for worse things. Everything just gets worse, and we have to keep paying more money for it. This whole system that we live in right now is designed to keep you fat, weak, and docile. It's not meant to help you thrive and be better. It's just meant to keep you down. And it just sucks because, again, this is the world we live in, and most people cannot see it unless you go down this Bitcoin rabbit hole. That curtain will always just be there. You won't be able to pull it back unless you understand and go down this Bitcoin rabbit hole, and it uncovers the world that we actually live in today. The opposite of that is Bitcoin, understanding how to exit this system that we live in. Right now, the way to do that is just every time you go out there and make more money, make more of these fake fiat dollars, anytime you get some extra ones, just toss it into Bitcoin. That's all you got to do right now. Is just whatever it is, $5, $10, $15, just any extra money you have, just sweep it into Bitcoin. And your life over time will become better, will get easier. And then it'll make you study and understand what Bitcoin is, what's going to happen next. Like, how does the Bitcoin social layer progress? How do we get to that next point? It's not just, hey, I'm going to buy some of this Bitcoin. It's going to go up in value, and then I pull the dollars back out to go buy more crap with. In this chapter, he just talks about this system that we live in right now. And so many people outside are blind to this, and they don't understand why their life is getting worse. They don't understand why things are getting more expensive, or why we even got into this system in the first place, or why a group of people want us in this system and want us to keep us in this system. Again, when you understand this stuff, it's so mind blown. Like, for the first time, we have an out. We have a life raft. We can get off the Titanic, and everybody's just running around on the Titanic trying to figure it out. And Bitcoin is like, hey, I'm over here, guys. You can get on me if you want to. I really like that about this chapter, understanding the system that we live in right now, why it's designed that way, why we're always in these endless wars, why everything gets worse, why everything gets more expensive. It's designed like that on purpose. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for this chapter. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.